Okay, we're up to Numbers, Chukat, Balak, when it's a double parsha, as I mentioned. And we're up to chapter 23 in the book of Numbers, verse 27. Balak said to Balaam, "Come now, I will take you to a different place." So he's going to keep on trying. "Perhaps it will please God and you will curse him for me from there." I'm going to keep on trying, man. Balak really wants his money worth, right? He's going to just keep on trying. So Balak took Balaam, and Balaam's going along with this, by the way. So Balak took Balaam to the peak of Peor, overlooking the wastelands. So it's another location. I believe Peor was one of those another idol, another deity that's in the region, that was in the area. And so he's trying from these like kind of negative force locations, right? So why is Hashem able to appear to in these situations? Because really Hashem is above all these idols, all these local beliefs. Hashem's obviously greater. I mean, is Hashem. So God's greater than all this. So this is like something that the Torah is teaching you, like alagav, that even though we're going to mention other deities and other gods and other like entities, doesn't matter. Hashem is in charge. Balaam had said to Balak, "Build me 7 altars here and prepare for me 7 bulls and 7 rams." So here we go again. Balak did as Balaam told him and offered up a bull and a ram on each altar. So Balak's really trying, man. He's like being super religious here. He wants these curses. It's like he's really going full on religion. Balaam saw that it pleased the Lord to bless Israel, so he did not go in search of omens as he had done time and time again, but turned his face towards the desert. So the other times when Balaam was really trying to curse, but he saw that he couldn't do it. And so he raised his eyes and he saw Israel dwelling according to his tribes, and the Spirit of God rested upon him. He took up his parable and said, "The word of Balaam, the son of Beor, and the word of man with an open eye. The word of the one who hears God's sayings, who sees the vision of the Almighty, fallen yet with open eyes. How goodly are your tents, O Jacob, your dwelling places, O Israel." This verse, "How goodly are your tents, O Jacob, your dwelling places, O Israel," we say this when you enter a Beit Knesset. Every Jew is supposed to say this when they enter a Beit Knesset. This verse. And this was said by Balaam, who was trying to curse us. See, Judaism has another thing in that we try to, even the worst situations, we always try to a folk. We always try to turn it into a blessing. We always try to look for the positive. We're very much a cup half full type people. They extend like streams, like gardens by the rivers, like aloes which the Lord planted, like cedars by the water. Water will flow from his wells, and his seed shall have abundant water. Now, of course, water and Torah, Torah is connected to water. But okay, anyways. Water shall flow from his wells, and his seed shall have abundant water. His king shall be raised over Agag, and his kingship exalted. God, who has brought them out of Egypt with the strength of his loftiness, he shall consume the nations which are his adversaries, bear their bones, and dip his arrows into their blood. He crouches and lies like a lion and like a lioness. And who will dare rouse him? Those who bless you shall be blessed, and those who curse shall be cursed. Balak's anger flared against Balaam, and he clapped his hands. Like, get out of this trance. Like, come on, man, get out of this. Like, stop. You're like giving all these amazing blessings, and I want you to be cursing. So he's like trying to like shake him up. He's like trying to get him out of this mystical experience. Balak said to Balaam, "I called you to curse my enemies, but you blessed them these 3 times. Now hurry back to your place. I said I would honor you greatly, but the Lord has depraved you of honor." Balaam said to Balak, "But I even told the messengers you sent to me, saying, if Balak gives me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot transgress the word of the Lord to either good or evil on my own. Only what the Lord speaks can I speak." So Balaam's trying to say, "Listen, man, it doesn't matter. Like I told you, no matter how much you pay me, and I really want the money, by the way, no matter how much you try to bribe me, I can't do it." But we see that Balaam really wanted the money. Like it's like pretty clear. And now I'm going to go to my people. Come, I will advise you. What this people do to you at the end of days? Oh, here we come. Here it comes. Here it comes. Super famous verses. He took up his parable. Again, it's a parable. The Torah said, at least in English, is how it's translated. And it says Moshad. V'yesh mishalo. So it's a mishal. It's a mashal. This is not. Oof. Okay. The word of Bilam, son of Beor, the word of a man with an open eye. It's very keeps on referring to an open eye, meaning he only had one eye because he lost his other eye. There's there's the eye of the vision of the eye. There's the seeing eye, right? The third eye. There's a lot going on here. Okay. The word of the one who hears God saying and perceives the thoughts of the Most High. He sees the vision of the Almighty fallen yet with open eyes. Here's Anayim. I see it, but not now. I behold it, but not soon. A star has gone forth from Jacob, and a staff will rise from Israel, which will crush the princes of Moab and uproot the sons of Seth. Edom shall be possessed, and Seir shall become the possession of his enemies, and Israel shall triumph. A ruler shall come out of Jacob and destroy the remnant of the city. When he saw Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, and his fate shall be everlasting destruction. What he means by first here, the first to ever attack Israel, because according to in Bereshit, Rashi says that Israel, us, the Hebrew nations, is the first of Hashem, right? But here, again, we have to go by like what the Meforshim tell us, right? But when it says first, it means that they were the first to attack us. When he saw the Kenite, so this is what's going to happen down. Amalek was the first of the nations, and his fate shall be everlasting destruction. And when he saw the Kenite, he took up his parable and said, how firm is your dwelling place, and your nest is in the cliff? For if Cain is laid waste, how far will Assyria take you captive? He took up his parable and said, alas, who could survive these things from God? Ships will come from the Kittites and will afflict Assyria and afflict those on the other side, but he too shall perish forever. So this is all end of times. This is all like saying things are going to happen in the future, which all the Meforshim say are connected to the Mashiach, like Mashiach ben David. And I'm not going to go into that, all right? So Bilam arose and went and returned home, and Balak went on his way. Israel settled in Shittim, and the people began to commit harlotry with the daughters of the Moabites. So the Moabites and the Israelites got together. They had a big trance party. They had a big rave in the desert. It's a big sex fest. It's going down. The Moabite women and the Israelite and the Hebrew guys. It doesn't say the Hebrew men, so this is a big party going on. They invited the people to sacrifice of their gods, and the people ate and prostrated themselves to their gods. Now, this is the Israelites all of a sudden prostrating themselves to the Moabites and their gods. Israel became attached to Baal Peor, and the anger of the Lord flared against Israel. The Lord said to Moses, take all the leaders of the people and hang them before the Lord facing the sun, and then the flaring anger of the Lord will be removed from Israel. Moses said to the judges of Israel, each of you shall kill the men who became attached to Baal Peor. Then an Israelite man came and brought the Midianite woman to his brethren, and before the eyes of Moses and before the eyes of the entire congregation of the children of Israel, while they were weeping at the tent of the meeting. So in the middle of all this one guy comes with this one woman, and he has intercourse in front of the entire congregation while everybody's crying. Pinchas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the Cohen, saw this, rose from his congregation, took a spear in his hand. He went after the Israelite man into the chamber and drove it through both of them, the Israelite man and the woman, through her stomach, really a little bit lower. And the plague ceased from the children of Israel. Those that died in the plague numbered 24,000. And that ends this parsha. There is so much I want to say. Maybe I should just make a separate video, but we're going to end there for today.